So what did they do? At the bottom of the hill, below where the Iron Man had come over the high cliff, they dug a deep, enormous hole, a hole wider than a house, and as deep as 3 trees, one on top of the other. It was a colossal hole, a stupendous hole, and the size of it was sheer as walls. They pushed all the earth off to one side. They covered the hole with the branches, and the branches they covered with straw, and the straw with soil, so when they finished the hole looked like a freshly ploughed field. Now on the other side of the hole, opposite the slope up to the top of the cliff, they put an old rusty lorry. That was bait. Now they reckoned the Iron Man would come over the top of the cliff, out of the sea, and he'd see the old lorry, which was painted red, and he'd come down to get it, to chew it up and eat it. But on the way to the lorry, he'd be crossing the hole, and the moment he stepped with his great weight onto the soil held up only with straw and branches, he would crash through into the hole and would never get out. They'd find him there in a hole. Then they'd bring a few bulldozers and earth movers that he hadn't already eaten, and they'd push the pile of earth in on top of him and bury him forever in the hole. They were certain now that they'd get him. Next morning, in a great excitement, all the farmers gathered together to go along to examine their trap. They came carefully closer, expecting to see his hand tearing at the edge of the pit. They came carefully closer. The red lorry stood just as they had left it. The soil lay just as they had left it, undisturbed. Everything was just as they had left it. The Iron Man had not come. Neither did he come that day. Next morning all the farmers came again. Still everything lay just as they had left it. And so it went on, day after day. Still the Iron Man never came. Now the farmers began to wonder if he would ever come again. They began to wonder if he had ever come at all. They began to make up explanations of what had happened to their machinery. Nobody likes to believe in an iron monster that eats tractors and cars. Soon the farmer who owned the red lorry they were using as bait decided that he needed it, and he took it away. So there lay the beautiful deep trap without any bait. Grass began to grow on the loose soil. The farmers talked of filling the hole in. After all, you can't leave a giant pit like that. Somebody might fall in. Some stranger coming along might just walk over it and fall in. But they didn't want to fill it in. It had been such hard work digging it. Besides, they all had a sneaking fear that the Iron Man might come again, and that the hole was their only weapon against him. At last they put up a little notice, "Danger, keep off," to warn people away, and they left it at that.